all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine. Hanging pictures.
Biggie Smalls is the illest.
Illest.
94, keep it raw, ready to die, man.
Notorious B.I.G.
Man.
Unbelievable. Biggie Smalls. When'd you get intro to Biggie?
Wow. You know what? When the movie Who's the Man came out.
Yeah.
And of course the soundtrack was dope.
Yeah.
And there was a track on there called Party and Bullshit.
Yeah.
That was like, whoa,
Yeah.
who is this?
Yeah.
And to me, that's how I got a chance to know about Notorious B.I.G. You know, granted, Biggie Smalls had mixtapes and stuff.
Right.
But on that level,
Yeah.
that's how I knew about Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah.
Watch yourself, Jeff.
I think my first intro had to be the Juicy video, man.
Yeah.
Watching that video pop up on MTV
Yeah.
and the box all the time. And just seeing that lifestyle of this guy from New York, but he's in shorts and a button-up shirt by the pool, just intrigued me, man. And then of course the rhyme style and the way he delivered. So I think it was the Juicy video was like my first real encounter with Biggie, and then I just started to be a fan ever since.
Yeah.
Mine was actually just the Mary J remix, Super Cat was on it. And then Biggie's verse kind of I was like, yo, this guy is vocally
spitting.
He's delivering some shit I never really kind of, it just gravitated. And then after that, I really, I didn't hear about him until Juicy dropped. And then I honestly just talk about hip hop quotables. Almost every line in Juicy is like a hip hop quotable for real.
Whoever thought that hip hop would take it this far.
Yeah, I'm originally from Brooklyn, so I was really excited. And this is, remember, when Ready to Die dropped, 94, the West Coast was running shit.
No, that's real.
They're coming off of the Chronic in 92. You had Snoop Dogg doing this thing. You had Warren G,
Dog Pound,
and Nate Dogg, and everybody was doing their thing. And a couple of cats from the East between Nas, Wu, but Biggie was kind of he was the franchise player for the East at that point too, and he just kind of encapsulated East Coast hip hop music in a way that Dre and Snoop captured in West Coast. And he was heavily influenced by Dre and Snoop as well. Even in the intro, hearing him going from the Curtis Mayfield and the 70s to Gin and Juice.
That's right. That was
and into the intro and stuff like that. So he was heavily influenced by that. So it was almost like his coming out party being Ready to Die, but he was so influenced by so many different artists and
So speaking of the West Coast, like I'm about to date myself.
Okay.
But when I first met and actually saw Notorious B.I.G. was the year I started at Power 106.
Oh, sad.
Crazy.
And there was a concert, February 1995. Power 106 had a concert called Flavor Jam.
Yeah.
They had Craig Mack, Notorious B.I.G, Lords Underground, Fushnikins, Drew Down, Rapping For. They had all these different artists.
Yeah.
But I got a chance to see him perform Juicy and Big Papa.
Wow.
So in person, I got a chance to really see him perform, and to see him perform out here in the West Coast, I was like, wow.
What was that energy like?
Crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Did people know every word right away, or were they just getting their intro to him?
Juicy was big at the time. Big Papa was just barely
starting
out.
Yeah.
And they knew Juicy. It was like a great introduction for him to the West Coast, especially because, like you said, at the time, the West Coast was hot. Dre, Snoop,
Quick,
Warren,
Quick.
I mean, the Dog Pound.
Yeah.
Just a lot going on. I mean, of course, you still had your Cubes and stuff from the NWA stuff. Years back that was making a lot of noise. So for him to come out and do what he's doing, he made noise for the East Coast out in the West at that time.
For sure.
No, just to Nas or anyone else.
No, but
Wu and Nas was definitely doing the thing.
Wu and Nas had, and it was almost like this was Juicy was mad commercial, obviously.
Well, it was.
So that was the song to kind of turn the tide, if you will, as far as okay, wow, this dude is kind of, he's transcending hip hop. Popular music
to a bigger level.
So and I think honestly this is top 5 hip hop 12 inches of all time, between Unbelievable being my favorite Biggie Smalls joint to Juicy. But we just gotta talk more about his influence on hip hop and how, if he was still around,
what it would be like.
What that look like, that landscape would look like.
Timberland, best then, better now. Available at Robert Wayne Footwear.